And what up, everybody? Welcome back to Superhero Publications YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about zines and DIY publishing. And yesterday, I talked about kind of the origin story of Feral Publication, what I foresaw back then, and still to this day, kind of the mission and the vision of it all. And originally, I was going to start with just the Feral Comics project, but I felt like, let me talk about the first zine I ever published under Feral Publication. And this is kind of like that stuff where like I think and overthink things and I write shit down. But like when I was looking at my notes, there's a reason why these were the first three zines that I published. First one being Superhero Chem, which we'll get into today. The Mad Cow Resistance, and then Jesus the Asshole. And the reason why these three were important was because this is kind of the stuff that was in my mind that I thought people weren't talking enough about, right? So Superhero Chem was a direct conversation about patriarchy, and in particular what I saw as patriarchy within the United States. The Mad Cow Resistance was about speciesism. It was a comic book that I wanted to make, a story that I wanted to tell that was attacking animal factory farming, was attacking meat consumption and things like that. And then Jesus the Asshole was one that I wanted people to really think about and question their perspectives on religion. And like right now with the Roe versus Wade and things like that, like still prevalent, man. Like all these issues are still things that still to this day I see all the time, right? Patriarchy hasn't gone away, speciesism hasn't gone away, as well as, you know, religion being this coercing force within our lives still hasn't gone away. But that's actually why these were the first three. I really thought about it. I said like, what are the things that I don't see enough about that I think really do matter? Today I want to flip through Superhero Chem, and I kind of want to talk about it very briefly. So the origins of Superhero Chem is it's funny. There was a thing that Marvel was doing where they were recreating characters in different ethnicities as well as different genders. And I had met a fella who was like, hey man, I want to pitch the story to Marvel, amazing artist. And so we started chopping it up, and I told him like, I love the Punisher, and I was like, I've always had this idea for a Punisher character, which would be that, you know, Frank Castle goes and breaks up a sex trafficking ring, right? A human trafficking ring. And he sees a young female that looks like what his daughter would have looked like had she not been killed. And so when he sees this young woman, he takes her under his wing and trains her and all that. And so then because she was, you know, so brutally and horrendously, you know, used in this human trafficking ring, she basically becomes this Frank Castle that goes around fighting against patriarchy by destroying, you know, rapists, sex trafficking rings, and things like that. So that was the origin of this story. I pitched it to the homie. He was doing the art. You know, we submitted it to Marvel, and they didn't pick it up. It's fine. Originally, I had planned for me and him to do it, but you know, he went to school for art and was doing like really big things, and so he was like, nah, I don't got time for that. And it's like, cool. But I really liked the story, and I said, nah, man, I really want to do this. And at that time in my life, I had given up on drawing. I had thought like, I don't have the chops for that. I at best may be a really good writer, but I would never be able to match the art that I saw in my head, right? Like I grew up reading a lot of gnarly comics, and like my art never even touched the tip of the iceberg, you know what I mean? But there was just something about the story that I just really liked it and was like, nah, I want to do this. And so then I did. So here it is, you guys. Comics that hate you. That was the first little tagline that I had. Let's go ahead and read this whole zine together. Dear readers, thanks for taking the chance on this little comic zine that I have published. It is my hope that this character will deal with female issues and show the rest of the comic book universes what a feminist superhero looks like. I hope you enjoy and share or dislike and create something better. Rich. January 1st, 2015. In the middle of her work, hurting a man that had been raping women around the neighborhood. My name's Kim. I'm what passes as a superhero on these parts. You fucking piece of shit. These parts here are the United States, where there is a reported rape every 6.2 minutes, and only 5% of rapes get reported. In this land full of cowboys, full of men ready to show their macho over the most trivial things, but where the rape every 6.2 minutes is ignored. The land where these supermen can sleep like babies at night, knowing that the women they love could be attacked. So I found him, the latest neighborhood rapist. I stalked him like he stalked my sisters. I beat him. I don't think of him. I don't think of his mom or lover, daughter if he has one. No, that's not one of the thoughts running around my mind in the moment. I think of the 6.2 minutes. I think about how long it took me to find this one. Of the women screaming out in pain, the ones that died right after and the others that survived. I know he didn't rape them all, but he's a part of that. So I hit him. I feel the bones break. I hit him, and the blood almost hits my face. I hit him, and mind nothing. He stares deep into my eyes. I have no reason to look away, so I stare back down at him. I keep hitting him. I don't stop until I notice it's been a while since he's blinked. The blood coming out of his eyes should have been an early indicator, but I was lost in thoughts of my sisters. So he stares at me, not moving. I give him space, see if he's still got some fight left in him. But he doesn't move. He's dead. January 27, 2015. Thanks for joining us tonight on Truth Talk. I'm Joel Dole, and tonight we deal with the question of Kim, superhero of Slumtown or terrorist? To help answer this, we have Dr. Dan Donner, a professor of gender studies, Reverend Timothy Doyle from the Salem Ministry, Jen Jake, a writer for the Feminist Mind, and lastly, Carol, a self-proclaimed women's rights activist. We have a lot to cover tonight, but to start, temperature, yay or nay on Kim? Yay, nay, nay, yay, of course. We begin with someone who understands women, Dr. Don Danner. Doctor, you're a man, aren't you? Excuse me? Of course I'm a man. I'm sorry, doctor, I thought I heard you say yay. I did, and I am. I just don't understand how a man can sympathize with a clear-cut case of man-hating, that's all. That's absurd. When a woman defends herself or others of her gender, she hates all men, while as a man who defends his honor is praised. And at that, by your very logic, you're claiming that all men are rapists. She doesn't hate men, she hates rapists. There's a difference. I understand in this rape culture that we live within, it is sometimes hard to distinguish, but we must. I see, so you're also anti-America. So it's un-American to state the facts that we live in an over-sexualized culture where women are sold off as commodities? Of course it is. I apologize, doctor, but I agree with Joe. It is un-American to demonize the manner in which we portray women. Women are by nature beautiful, and here in America we recognize that and applaud it. If that's true, why the hell are we photoshopping every image of a female that we use in media marketing? We photoshopped the images to the specification of men and created cultural shame for women who don't meet the standard image of a beautiful woman. Carol, but in this modern day, women have been given the choice to choose for themselves, and they've chosen to be part of this system. They've over-sexualized themselves and then wonder why they get raped. Now I take offense to that. It sounds rape apologetic. No one claims that a man should be robbed because he's driving around in a new car. That new car, like a female's body, is his, regardless if he flaunts it. My problem with Kim isn't that she's fighting against the rape epidemic of the US, but that she's doing it as a man would, with violence. That's not the manner in which a woman would fight. We would use our words, grow awareness. Women shouldn't be fighting men off who try to rape them or exacting revenge for the ones that have been raped, but rather men should be taught to not rape women. Until then, I guess we walk around getting raped. And who the hell are you to say how a woman should fight? Instead of kicking your sister down, why don't you applaud that she's doing something? Ladies, we didn't come for a cat fight, but I don't think we men will mind, right fellas? Am I right, huh? You know what I mean. Alright, we'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Crunch. It was getting so good. I wish I could stay tuned, but I have to do my rounds. I finished up my meal pondering what they all had said. They all had pieces to the puzzle, but none saw it that way. They didn't see it as pieces, but as the one sole key to unlocking the chain. It doesn't work that way. Later tonight, we'll have the new heavyweight champion of the world. Nonetheless, we're gaining ground. Anytime Rupert allows for real information to make it, it means there was a strong push or want for it from the people. I can't let up now. What do you got today, Carl? I got 2 little ones. Great find. That's 200 each. You can take them to crate number 3. That's some damn good meat you found. High roller worthy, I hope. Maybe. It went on and on until he got a call. Ring. Get the fuck in there. What's up, Mr. P? What can I do for you? Joseph, I need you to pick up a little girl for me. You're in luck, sir. We got a whole herd of fresh ones. No, this one's special. Tell me, Joseph, have you seen the new heavyweight champion? It's so quiet here. Maybe the battle's moved on elsewhere. I mean, acting locally is the beginning, but a global movement has been the aim. If I've succeeded here, then I need to go elsewhere. Kim, I found you. The sisters are going to be happy. Who are you and what sisters? My name don't matter, Kim. We need you that does. You see, after you came out of the dark, you took the fight to the men that profited off the flesh of others, off of the flesh of women. You went through all the pimps here in Slumtown. One by one, you got rid of them. And in the emptiness that you left, we looked at each other. and wondered what to do, where to go. That's when Sister Mary spoke up. She said it was time for us to defend ourselves, to bear the fruits of our own labor, to organize and unite, so that other women wouldn't get gobbled up and used, tortured like we was. So we went to work, we protected ourselves, and we made money. Lots of money. So much we didn't know what to do, but Sister Mary became our accountant. She said first things first. So she got us an apartment building, bought and paid for. Sisters don't have to worry about rent. Then she sent us to college. We could make money on our feet. She'd say at college we met our sisters who weren't trading flesh for dough like us, but something a lot like it. So we organized and spent nights in front of the strip clubs, hiding from the muscles. We talked to all the girls about what it would look like if women owned and ran these places. Once we had all the girls on board, we opened our own. Life was great, and then he came back into my life to ruin it all. His name's a pimp with a mad hat. He's always been smart. When you was hunting them down, he went underground. He survived by cutting the legs off of his girls. This served two purposes for him. The girls couldn't run, and he collected their disability checks. They say he smiled as he did it, that he smiled larger with the louder screams, and that the loudest screams didn't come from the girls as their legs were hacked off, but rather as they saw the legs hacked off of their sisters. He went around collecting all the broken pimps he left behind. My pimp brothers, the hoes have stepped the game up. We got to do the same. Remember, hoes are like animals. You have to tame them, so let's do so. He created a pimp council, and once they were ready, they sent out one of their hoes to begin negotiation. They looked at it like a worker strike, but it wasn't no strike. We found our freedom by taking the means of production, which had always been ours. The hoe became a sister. There'd be no negotiating. After that, they drove around looking for Sister Mary. They found her. It wasn't just a murder, it was a message. They beat her first, dragged her to a metal black gate, and handcuffed her to it. Help, somebody, please. She screamed, but no one came for her. The neighbors wouldn't risk her safety for a hoe. That's when the gas and the end of a cigarette came to the fold. They set her on fire. They stood in the street and watched her burn. No one came, Kim. You weren't to be found. I've been looking for you ever since. Some of the sisters have already gone back to the council. The rest are thinking about it. There's a meeting tonight with the council. Please, Kim, help us. Of course. Lead the way, sister. She's wobbling as she walks. I think I know who spoke to Mary. At the exact moment elsewhere, we find the pimp council. You pimps ready to go tame these women? You ready to run game on them? All right, girls, remember the plan. Don't you pimps worry about these hoes. We got to talk to the ringleader. Not the one we got rid of, but their new pimp. Because no matter what a woman does in life, they just need a pimp for some reason. Look, we don't want anyone to get hurt, please. We'll give you everything we got and we'll go back to work. Good, this will make things easier for everyone. This worker strike's over. You hoes go back to work and give me the lease to this building. Wait here, sister. This might get a little rough. I get ready for what's to come. I have to think fast and hit hard. So we own this building now. That's right, just sign the paperwork. It belongs to us. Now we need to check the inventory and find these whole streets to work. I inch closer. It's time. You stupid hoe, you brought a stick to battle pimps, huh? Well, let's do this. If you don't step in here with your hands up, I'm gonna call the pimp council and have them start killing all the hoes in this building. Fuck it, why stop there? I'm gonna have them go killing hoes randomly. You heard that, Kim? Yeah, I heard you. But here's the thing, I don't like to lose. And I'm gonna be honest, the response to this comic was powerful, and it's what gave me the energy and the empowerment to just keep doing for a publication. Because one of the coolest things that happened was, so this comic, right, at first everything I was making from this zine, I ended up donating it because the sex workers in Europe were trying to unionize at the time. And so then anything that was made through Superhero Cam, I was donating it to that process. Through my efforts, somebody in the UK had heard about Superhero Cam, and they reached out to me and they said, hey man, we're having this self-defense, women-led, women-only kind of event, and we really want your zines. How many can you send us, and what would be the price point? Me being me, of course, I said, fuck, for free. Like, I'll send them to you guys. And so I sent a big ass box to the UK, and my understanding is they put this in with like pepper spray and brass knuckles and a few other items like a whistle and things like that. And I couldn't have been happier. I was like, holy shit, that's so fucking cool. And that was literally within 3 months of me doing feral publication, and that's the kind of shit that I had energy after that. I said, hell yeah, what the fuck. And that's 2 points, right? One is that, yes, this was a story that at that point, it told me like this is a story that needs to exist, that people want to read and want to hear, and that this is filling a need for a demographic that is not being represented, right? Like one of the sidekick in this was a sex worker, and that's that point of like heroes can be anybody, and representation does matter. And so, you know, and then the other character on the flip side was this unapologetic woman that could be aggressive, because there's always the stigma of women always being so nurturing and kind and all this shit. And it's like women could be anything. The fact that they try to distinguish the genders into these roles, right? So like men shouldn't be overly sensitive. It's like, yeah, there's men that are overly sensitive, and women shouldn't be aggressive. There are women that are aggressive, and that's all okay. But all right, you guys, this zine has been discontinued. This comic book is no longer around. I know some people have bootlegged it and have it online for free for people to read, so I don't have those links on me. But if you find it, go ahead and put it in the show notes for the community to read the zine, because I was really happy with this zine, really proud of this work. And like I said, this was the thing that really empowered me to just keep doing this thing that I've been doing for a while and that you guys have all been a part of. But beyond that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Lights.